Hey guys, it's Thursday night and Purdue just got done playing Florida A&M. They are one of the only three unbeaten teams left in Division I basketball, basically, and they are number one in the Ken Palm for the Player of the Year rankings. That guy is Ziti, of course. Yes, there is some problems though. Ugliness of the 15 for 73 shooting, a 21% shooting clip the last three games. And can this team make it 24 consecutive wins against non-conference games? That's a plus that they're trying to do today in the regular season anyway. And the next best is 14. What a huge difference. Now, I've decided to start calling Zach Edey Ziti. Not sure if it'll stick or if he's even had it been used on him before, but let's run with it, okay? Now, as I've stated in the past, this team is fun to watch, fun to root for, fun and very competitive on all fronts. Will they overlook an opponent tonight they should beat pretty easily instead of eyeing the Big Ten season? Or is that something they will be doing? Well, we'll have to see what the Boilermakers do. I'll have an update on all of that. And can they keep up the solid play throughout an entire game? That's something I want to see also. So let's start with what we see. Well, the first trip down the court, Ziti took a pass outside the three-point line. I thought, are they trying to stretch the D? Then he got a rebound and he turned it over. It was kind of haphazard. But Braden soon after ran in the same high pick and roll for a nice lob dunk to Ziti. So Lawyer missed his first two wide open threes and then he gutted the third, so I thought maybe things would change. And Purdue was 3 for 7 total shooting early on in the game. The ball movement was great early on. Everything was passing, different pass, extra pass. Florida A&M's tends to have a defense that chases people. That's what I told you in my podcast before, and sure enough, that's exactly what was happening. Also, we had Purdue, that is, the Boilermakers had great, tough, hustling defense throughout the first 5 minutes. They produced shot clock violations like 3 times in the first 5 minutes and several blocked shots. It was tough on A&M. Purdue breaking the press easily, though. I talked about this in the past, too. Why are teams still doing this other than it breaks up the cohesion? They're not getting anything out of it, and they didn't tonight. Later, though, Ziti under the basket with a hack-a-shack mentality by A&M. He literally got mugged for a full 2 seconds before some kind of foul was called on a triple coverage. Okay, he did sink some of the free throws, though. Newman was very aggressive early, but he missed a lot of shots, but I still loved it, though. Then, bam, he drained a wide-open three. After great ball movement, it continued, ending in another three later, and this one was from Gillis. So what? 2 Purdue threes in a row, you say? Could there be more? Shortly thereafter, Gillis then had a rebound bucket and a banked-in three. Yes, a banked-in one. Let's check this, you say. What? 4 for 8 shooting at the 3 of the 3 at the 8:45 mark? What are we talking about here? Could there be more? All right. Put this away for the future. TKR getting easy looks with Ziti getting doubled constantly. First is going to get this too, and they both are going to have to start coming through. Here's something. Lawyer looked a little more comfortable looking tonight than he did in the previous game, compared to the last game where he looked a little lackadaisical, at least in the first half. All right, there was some sloppy play after getting up big. Right at the end of the first half, Florida A&M is making some tough shots for sure, but the last 2 minutes, Purdue looked like the team that was 2-8, not A&M. All right, the half ended 42-29, so still up pretty solid. And Purdue ended 4 for 12 on the three-pointers at the half. That means they missed their last 4, but they still shot 54% total for the first half with 39% for A&M. All right, the second half, Purdue just comes out and lays a whooping on them. A fast break dunk by First, 2 fouls giving Ziti 4 free throws in 3 possessions to start the game, and it's an 8-zip run to start that half, that second half. Purdue is now running on all cylinders. Still missing their threes, though, but the men are energetic. Lawyer starts to seem a little lethargic here in the second half for me, what I started to see anyway. Maybe he's sick a little bit, under the weather, not sure. But defense lives here, and that's what Purdue is known for. A&M only had 1 bucket and 4 free throws through the 9:35 mark of the half. It's a 22-4 run to open the second half for the Boilermakers. And now TKR is buckets, baby. He's the Swiss Army knife, and he's starting to do it all at this point. So everybody's kicking in. And you notice I haven't said Ziti much. Now, unfortunately, Lawyer gets pummeled and TKR gets pummeled with no fouls called. Yet the next trip down, A&M gets a foul called after one of their guys get it. So the crowd wasn't happy with that at all. But to make everyone happy, what is it you say? A 3 from Newman. Purdue is now up 32 with 10:50 left in the half. So there's just not much left. The second half is going all Purdue's way. Purdue's smothering defense gets a steal, and it's an easy, fast break bucket by who else? Yes, Newman. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to start a campaign for Newman for president because this game was his game. Now, Purdue's up 34 with like 9:50 left in the second half. But the crowd's not happy. There's a fall on the floor by Bates, who's one of their better players. He got kind of caught in the air awkwardly. Nobody touched him really at all. He didn't flop. He just got caught awkwardly and fell on the floor. But still, he never got touched. Okay, enough of me whining about it. It ended up being a foul, even though he didn't get touched. All right. So now we're on Purdue's like on a 32-8 run with just 7.5 minutes left in the game, and Purdue is pouring it on. But they're still playing hard, tough-nosed defense. And with 5 minutes left in the game, Purdue is up 80-39 and has outscored A&M 39-10 in the second half. That's the kind of defense we want. That's the kind of enthusiasm we want. Purdue got very lackadaisical from about the 4-minute mark to the 1.5-minute mark. Very little offense schemes were run at all, just lots of quick shots. So Florida A&M ran off an 8-0 run against our solid bench guys. That's something we'll need to tighten up. Yes, big lead. You can kind of understand it a little bit. Then Painter put in all the hardworking guys who don't get any playing time or very little at all, and the final ends up being 82-49. Purdue is now 13-0. Okay, here's some quick takes. As the game ended, Purdue played hard, solid defense. It still can't shoot the three very well lately, though. But it ran an inferior team pretty much off the court in the second half and pretty much the entire game. Some quick stats. Nobody on A&M scored in double digits. Nobody had more than 6 rebounds or 2 assists. Meanwhile, First scores 10, ZD scores 14, TKR scores 11, and Newman scores 18. ZD had 10 rebounds. A couple guys have 4 assists. Looks like Smith and Morton, I think, were the two. Team stats, not terrible. 49% from the field. Not a bad shooting night, right? But the three-pointers were 24%. After starting off 4 of 8 again, they finished 6 of 25. That means what? 2 of the last 17? And the vast majority of them were wide open shots. Let's just keep hoping they'll start going down soon and get in a rhythm. The Boilermakers are out-rebounding A&M 43-25 throughout the entire game, and the assists were like 17-9. So a very solid game all around. Player of the game, well, we got to give the Newman. Solid games from TKR, ZD, Smith, First, Gillis, Jenkins. Did I forget him? Okay, games from Lawyer, Morton. If you had to find something, they were just kind of average. All right, just okay. Here's what the coach had to say after the game. They asked him about Newman, and he said, Brandon helps with knocking down some threes this game, as it has been a problem for us lately. And he did hit those when they needed them. He had 5 blocks in a game to go along with his 18 points. He's a weapon from an offensive standpoint. At any time you can come into the game, he does that. He has got to get comfortable and take some good shots. What comes his way. That's what he had to say about him. On Braden Smith, sometimes it doesn't seem like he fills up the stat sheet. If we could make some shots, he'd have 10 or 12 assists a game. In reality, he's set up maybe 10 or 12 people, yet they've only scored maybe 4 or 5 times, and he still makes great decisions. On the team's effort, I like how our guys are working hard, maybe not getting every rebound, but keeping some alive, and it's team effort. You know, the Big Ten season is just the start of it, as everybody's going to be big, everybody's going to play tough, and so every night is going to be a chore. I'm excited to see where it takes us. Those were all quotes from the coach, so he liked what he saw tonight. Brandon Newman had this to say on whether his defense led to how he played offensively tonight. That's what he was asked. He responded, oh, definitely. It helped watching tape and seeing what guys' tendencies were and what they were going to do, and it gave me a great feeling. Very nice to hear. ZD said they feed off the defensive intensity. That's one of his big monikers tonight. Mason Gillis said they need to just keep working on what they've been doing and improving as a team. He got a chuckle from everybody in the room when he said, "I like our team. I like how we're playing. I'm excited for the harder competition." That is well said, my friend. Very well said. So here's the end game in a nutshell. This team played hard defense, shot the ball solidly, still can't throw it in the ocean from outside of 3 right now, at least for the time being, but still did many things, if not everything else, that was needed to win games. Intensity was there for the entire game, something that seemed lacking occasionally. Very little wasted trips compared to other games except late, and something that should keep many of the men positive until the next game is that hard play. Now that means on to Rutgers on Monday. Big Ten play is upon us. See you next time.
Shut up and sit down.